Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, and good evening. This is Colin Go, and I have with me Colin E.
Hello everyone. Hi. Nice to see you guys again after so long, after like 2 months.
Yeah, I think we have a break of about 2 months, and I guess you've been busy, Colin. Right now we're seeing something different in your setup. Very nice background you have there.
Yes. So if you guys remember, before during the May June that time, I was using a very simple setup. I was hiding in a corner of my house doing the shooting, the Facebook Live, and every time I have to like shift a lot of things just to get things in place. And so the last session which I did in mid June, I still remember there was one day before the phase two, right? Okay, I think that was on the 17th of June, right? So I did my last Facebook Live, and I told you guys that I need some time to sort this out because this is really quite messy for me at home, right? So now, as you can see, it's much better. I have a nice MBA, Marina Bay, backdrop behind me. Of course, it's a virtual screen, okay? Right? I'm not staying in a condo there, right? Okay, this is just a virtual screen, but it looks very nice, right? And also, I've got some lightings as well, so you see the whole thing is much better, right? So the reason why I'm doing this is also because I want to do this on, as I said previously, a more regular basis, hopefully every week, right? Provided I have enough good stuff to share, because I don't want to waste you guys' time, telling you things that you can easily read from the newspapers, or there's no additional value add. That's always where I'm coming from.
So I think for Colin, I think you mentioned good things. I think one thing that you really have endless is good things. Every time we wanted to do a sharing of good stuff for half an hour, we ended up doing it for an hour. Sometimes you did it in 1.5 hours. So so you have more than enough things to share. And as we get more people streaming in right now, let's say who are with us. We have Ken Chan with us. We have Ziyun with us. Jeffrey, Brandon, Ang. Not sure, on your side, who else are you seeing right now? So
I see Audrey Lim, Lin Yap, Selena Ang. Thanks very much for tuning in, and the rest I can't really see them because if you can, if you guys are watching us live now, maybe you can just enter your comments, say hi, so at least we know who you are, right? So I see there are about 20 to 30 people right now, which is quite good for a start. So if you can just say, just drop a text and say hi, or you can just press the this thumbs up button, right? Just press, right? And as I share, go into this session later on, right? If you feel that what I share is good, do help to share on your timeline as well, so that whatever I share can benefit more people. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Click the thumbs up button. Click the thumbs up button, like what I'm doing right
thumbs
now.
Up button, thumbs up button.
This love also can, Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So keep doing that.
Yes.
And say hi to Colin. Yeah. So we have more people streaming in now. Lynn is up. Selena. Yeah. So you mentioned about that already. Jeffrey says hi. Yeah.
Jeffrey Tan. Yeah. Hi, Jeffrey. Yeah. Hi. Nice to see you again.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So today, topic today, big words, fire sale.
I don't know why, Colin, I don't know why recently, like, ever since we started doing this, Facebook Live about 3 months ago, I always I always cannot leave this word fire sale behind me. I don't know why, right? If you guys remember earlier on in May, June, that time we were talking about fire sale and where can you find fire sale during the circuit breaker period, right? And I went on to talk a bit about new launches, what new launches can provide us in terms of capital appreciation, right? Today's topic actually is not really, it's not really I want to plan to talk about fire sale, distress sale, but it just so happened that about a week ago, the newspaper reported, right? Maybe I can do a screen share now, right? Maybe I can show you guys, right? Colin, are you seeing anything?
Not yet.
Not yet, right? Okay, let me share my screen.
Okay, so while Colin Yi is sharing his screen right now, what's going to happen is for those of you who are watching, and Colin is going to share his heart out. He is going to give you a lot of value. But I tell you what, in order for him to share even more than maybe what his slides are showing right now, just key in the comments below, say, what you want to know about fire sales deals. And this is what he is talking about today. ask your question below. Specifically, I mean, even if you have a question down to a project level, key it below. We'll see whether we have the time to take this or not. Well, you just might be able to get Colin E to answer your queries, clear your doubts, and maybe give you a tip or two when it comes to something that you have been eyeing for the longest time. Yeah, Colin, please take it away.
Okay. Yes. Thanks very much, Colingo. Because I think when it comes to property, a lot is actually application based. That means to say that you can go out there to watch a lot of YouTube videos or listen to other people tell you about property investing. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to property selection, do you buy property A or property B? I think that makes a lot of difference. So if you guys have got any queries about whether should you buy, let's say, this condo A or condo B, it's okay. Just leave your comments below so that afterwards, if after tonight's session, if we still have for some time, I can try to look at them and then of course provide you with some insights. Right? Okay. I may not have all the information, but I will still try my best to give you some kind of value add in terms of answering your questions. Right. So back to tonight's topic. As you can see from the screen, right? Fire sale deals found during circuit breaker. And these are real deals that were transacted, right? These are not like, putting up for sale on the market and nobody has yet bought them. They were already transacted. That's why, I won't talk about it tonight. And actually, they were reported in the newspapers, right? So, as I said, tonight's topic is not really I plan to, do it this way. I didn't plan, for tonight's topic. Usually I plan about a few days in advance, but just so happened that around end of July, the Business Times reported this. Business Times, I think it was 27th of July, right? 27th of July. The Business Times reported that distressed properties sold via private treaty as auction remains no go. Right? Okay. Without reading all the words there, right? Basically, what it's trying to say is that because of the circuit breaker, of course, safe distancing measures, right? Previously, every week, usually, auction houses will have will hold auctions for sale, right? Will hold auctions to sell their properties. But because of the current situation now, right, the COVID-19, auction houses are no longer able to, gather a lot of people in one room, usually Amara Hotel, on Wednesday or Thursday afternoon, and then do the auction sale as what they previously used to do, right? So what some auction houses have gone on to do actually is to do a webinar, right? Get interested parties, give them the password, tell them the date and time they're going to do this webinar, and through the webinar they give a very brief run through of the properties which they are going for auction sale. Of course, this format is no longer called an auction sale because no people were actually around, right? This is actually a virtual kind of situation. So that's why the sale can still go through, right? But in this case, it's not an auction, it's through private treaty. Private treaty essentially means like, for example, today if you have a condo, you want to sell your condo, basically you find a buyer, you and the buyer will enter into a private treaty, right, agreement, right? So that is essentially the headline, okay, right, nothing special, right? So the thing is that what captured attention here is that what are the properties that were being sold, right? That I think that is more interesting. And further down in the report, actually these are the ones, right? These are the ones that were being sold, right? As you can see, there are about 7 or 8 properties here. Most of them are condos, right? We have got one factory in Tuas, right? So if you look at the second most right column on the second column from the right, right? The guide price. So let's say you look at the first one, Livia. Livia is about, the guide price for this 3-bedroom is about 1.05 million, right? 1.05 million. So it was sold for about 950,000, right? Do you think it's a good offer? 950K? So imagine if you had bought this Livia, right? This unit in Livia, the first row here, 950,000, you can buy this property. And the valuation, or rather, the valuation of the guide price is about 1.05 million. So it is easily about 100,000 below the market value or past transacted value, right? Okay. So if you go down the list, you can see that most of the property, in fact, all the properties here, right? The transacted price, right? The transacted price, which is the caveated price, is much lower than the guide price, okay? So these are the actual deals that were being done, right? As you can see here, sold via private treaty in second quarter 2020, right? So these are the real deals that were being done, right, during the circuit breaker period, right? So the question now is that what I want to find out, okay, what I'm going to share tonight is essentially when you look at the numbers, right, when you compare the caveated price with the guide price, obviously there is quite a big gap, right? Easily 100,000, 150,000, right? So it seems quite attractive on paper, right? If you are the buyer of such properties, obviously, you may think that this is a good deal, right? Because you buy, 100,000, 150,000 below the guide price. So my question tonight essentially is to look at different perspectives and try to answer using a few examples here, whether these properties that were being transacted, are they really, such good deals, right? I will look at it from different angles, right? So first of all, what I'm going to do is I will select 3 properties to go through in greater details and share some information with you. So the 3 properties are Livia, the first one, right? Pasir Ris, condo in Pasir Ris. Second one is Spottiswoode 18, right? This is a freehold condo in Tanjong Pagar area. And the last one is Marina Bay Residences, right? So I will give some examples, okay, some details about these 3 condos, and then we will analyze a bit about, whether such a transacted price, right? Like for example, Livia at 950, Spottiswoode at 1.28 million, Marina Bay Residences at 1.95 million. Are they really, good deals, attractive deals that, if you are the buyer, will you be really excited, happy that you have gotten this property, right? Okay, so let's look at the first one, Livia, right? So Livia, this is a 99 years leasehold property in Pasir Ris. So it was launched in July 2008, right? And during the launch, it was going for about 600 plus PSF, okay? And as the property market, started to heat up, right? Towards 2011, the price went up to 800 plus PSF. And at the peak, it was trading at about 900 plus PSF, right? So fast forward to today, the price has gone down a bit to the range of 700 to 800 PSF, right, in general for a condo in Livia, right? So the unit that was transacted during the circuit breaker, right, is this unit 0226, right? It's a 3-bedroom, 1,003 square feet, sold at 950,000, okay, or 718 PSF, right, on the 16th of April 2020, okay. So these are the details which I went to find out, right, extracted from my source, right, because some of these details like the unit number and the date of transaction actually were not given in the newspaper report. So using my sources, I actually went to try to guess what are the units, what are these units, which are the units that were being transacted. So this is the unit, right? So okay, so this is the first one. Now just look at the numbers here, right? Without doing much analysis, just looking at the numbers here first, right? So you see, let's say you are the buyer here. You bought this Livia condo at 718 PSF, 718 PSF. Do you think it's a good price? Okay, do you think it's a good price? So if you think it's a good price, maybe you can just type in the comments, right? Good, maybe or just put a GD, GOOD, good, right? So maybe you have some time. I give you about 10 seconds to just enter your comments based on whatever you see here, right? Remember, right? The guide price for this property is 1.05 million. Okay, 1.05 million. You bought this property at 950K, okay, in April this year, right? At 718 PSF, right? So do you think it's a good buy? Right? Maybe you can enter your comments here.
Yeah,
right?
so we'll wait
comments.
for people to enter, right? From a
Yeah.
layman point of view, if I look purely at the newspaper report,
Yeah.
100K savings, like,
Yeah.
I would think,
yes.
I mean, if you ask me, I would think that I scored a deal. It's like 10% off,
Yes.
Yeah.
Precisely. That's why what got me interested, and I want to feature that newspaper article as tonight's topic, tonight's sharing, is really because Colin Goh, my style, right? For some of my students, my style as well. I don't want to say those things which are mundane and boring, and you can actually hear them from most other sources. So I saw this newspaper article. I thought, hey, quite interesting. The first question which came to my mind was, are there really good deals in the resale market which we can find, which we can, really go out to look for them? Because I think when we were doing the Facebook Live 2 months ago, we mentioned quite a lot about, new launches, right? So today the focus is really on resale properties. And when I saw this newspaper article, I thought to myself that, wow, 100,000, 150,000 below market value, right? Seems like a good deal. Easily, 10-15% of the market price. For example, this one is about 15%, right? So based on what you can see, right?
Oh, before that, yeah. So
Yeah.
quite a number of people have replied, Colin.
Okay. Oh, good.
So Jeffrey says good price. Raja
Yeah.
says good as well. Yeah. So Daniel say is good based on past price. Well, I agree with him as well. Selena says seems like a good price.
Yeah.
But
yes,
Ken
yes.
Chan says no, it's not a good price. Wow. Okay. So the
So-
only one who disagrees out of everybody else.
Yeah. So you see, there are differing opinions here. So okay, I will leave the analysis to till later on, right? Okay, I'm going to show you quickly run through the three properties here. So this is the first property, right? Later I'll come back to reference to this property,
Sure.
right? So seems like a good deal because you get 100,000 below, of the transacted price, right? So okay, we move on to the next property. Okay, so next property is Spottiswoode 18. Okay, freehold condo in Tanjong Pagar. So it was launched in January 2011, right, at a price of about 1,800 to 2,300 PSF, right? Okay, why is there such a big gap during the launch? Is because you must understand that Spottiswoode 18 is a 35-story condo, and obviously, the low floor units are probably going for the cheapest price, maybe 1,800 PSF, right? Compared to the high floor, maybe 25th story and above, right? They are going for about 2,200, 2,300 PSF. So that explains why, there's such a big variation in terms of the launch price, 1,800 to 2,300 PSF, right? So, okay, fast forward to today, generally, most of the units are trading about $2,000 per square feet, right? That is the price, that is the kind of price today, right? So, which unit was sold during the circuit breaker? Okay, this unit 3508, right, is actually a one bedroom, right? 893 square feet, pretty big one bedroom, okay, right? 893 square feet. That was sold at only 1.28 million, right? 1.28 million, and the valuation price actually is 1.45 million, right? Okay, so based on this 1.28 million transacted price, it translates to a PSF of $1,433, right? 1433 PSF, right? This was done in June 2020. So if you think about it, just look at the numbers here. 1433 PSF compared to today, generally most of the properties over there are trading about $2,000 per square feet. Huge difference,
Yeah.
huge difference.
Like
Huge drop, $600, right? $600 per square feet of the valuation price, right? So maybe I want to open this up to the audience again. Do you think this is a good buy? Maybe if you think it's a good buy, you share your comments by typing a Spottiswoode or S18. Let's say S18 good buy, right?
Yeah.
So at least we know we have some feedback. You see, right? So if you can help us, right, to get some some response about whether you think that this is a good buy or not, just enter in the comments S18 good buy or S18 lousy buy or bad buy, right? Okay, so just enter into the comments below, and then maybe later on we'll do a roundup.
So Jeffrey Tan is saying good price, and I agree
price.
with him. Purely looking at numbers, right?
Yeah.
And some of this is a high floor unit.
Yes,
I look
yes,
at
yes.
this is 30% off. Wow, it's like I
Yeah,
mean, if we are talking about fire sale, right? Yeah, this one
correct.
this one seems like the epitome of a fire sale. I mean, you can't go lower than that already. Yeah.
Yes.
I would agree
yes.
that this is one of the best price. The person who bought this, wow, purely looking at numbers lah, right now.
Yeah, correct. So you see, that's why property investing is so, in a way, is so interesting and can be so tricky as well for people who may not be used to it. Because if you just look purely at numbers, I would say when anybody who saw that newspaper report just now, on the 27th of July, right, comparing the two prices, the caveated price and the guide price, I think most of them will be asking themselves, hey, why am I not the buyer here, right? So that's why today I think it's very interesting. I want to share share this newspaper report with you, and more importantly is my thinking process behind whether I see really are they something which is worth buying, or maybe it's not as good as it seems, right? So, okay, we have got some response here. So, Jeffrey Tan is saying goodbye, right? Ken Chan is saying yes as well. Ruth Tan, goodbye. Daniel Tan, good, not considering other factors, right? Okay, fine. Selina Ang, goodbye. Raja, good price, right? So we have got some responses here, right? Okay, so let's quickly move on to the third property, right? So the third property is this property in Marina area, Marina Bay Residences, right? 99-year property. And in fact, oh, this building is just behind me, you see? The back, it's in my background, right? anyway, okay, so this was launched in 2006, right? At a price of 1,500 to 2,000 PSF. So again, why the wide variation is because this is a tall building, right? Tall building. So I think it has got like almost like more than 50 stories, right? So of course the low floor will be cheaper, and then the high floor will be almost at the top end of 1,900, right? Dollars per square feet. So you can see that when it was launched that time, 2006, right? It was actually just at the time where the market was just starting to pick up, right? So by the time it went to 2010, the market was already quite hot, right? And you can see that the price has escalated way past, right? The price has escalated way past the launch price. They were going for $2,500 to $3,000 per square feet, right? Ridiculous, right? Scary, right? If you remember those days, you know, those Marina Bay properties are like, for example, the first one was that was launched. That was the Sale. Actually, before that, there was Icon at Tanjung Pagar. That was actually the first one, the first condo to be launched. You know, when Marina Bay was really undergoing through the revamp, right? Then the Sale was the second one, and followed by all these, you know, Marina Bay residences. It became a speculator's market, right? So you can see 2010, the price went up so high, 2,500 to 3,000 PSF, right? So today, things have become more, you know, stable. A condo in Marina Bay Residences is trading about 1,900 to 2,200 PSF, right, in today's market, right? So the said property that was being transacted, right, is this unit on the 15th floor, 1503. This is I think this is a 2-bedroom unit, right, at 1,066 square feet, right? And the price that was sold was 1.95 million, right, or 1,830 per square foot, right, on 10th of June 2020, right? So again, just look at, you know, the price here. The guide price for this property is 2.05 million. So this buyer got this property for 1.95 million, right? $100,000 cheaper than the guide price, right? So if you look at the PSF per se, he bought this at 1,830 per square feet, 1,830 per square feet. And today, most of the properties there in Marina Bay Residences are trading at about 1,900 to 2,200 per square feet. So obviously, again, he bought at a slightly cheaper PSF, okay, right? So again, maybe you can enter your comments just looking at the numbers here, right? Whether you think maybe this Marina Bay Residences or MBR, right? MBR is a good buy or not, just looking at the, you know, the information here, right? MBR, whether MBR, do you think it's a good buy? So you can comment MBR good buy, or maybe, you know, MBR not a good buy, right? So I give you about 10 seconds to maybe just key in your comments here, then we can gather and review the 3 properties.
Right. I think, Colin, by now,
right.
The viewers are smelling something already. You know, they think that there is more to just pure figures down there. And then we've got people like Lynn, who is obviously, Lynn is your student, right?
No, actually, we just met on Facebook.
Oh, really? Yeah. Wow. Okay, she seems really educated.
Yeah.
Lynn, you know, if you're listening to this, I don't know you, but your comment seems to be pretty educated when it comes to
yes, Lynn is a property investor from
no
some
wonder,
of the posts that she posts.
That's why she says it's a good buy.
Yes.
At that time she was talking about this Spottiswoode 18. Yeah,
right.
Other factors need to consider too before buying. And I think, you know, really as people are answering the questions to Livia, to talk Spottiswoode 18, and now to MBR, right? I think they are beginning to smell a rat down here. So it's not as straightforward as just looking at numbers. But if you ask me again, Colin, you know, if I look at purely from the numbers point of view, 1830 versus even at 19 plus right now, I think I have scored some discount as well. And considering that, you know, the Marina area currently, I think a rental potential is still not too bad. Yeah, so I would think that this could be something that I mean, if I was shopping for a property, whoever who bought this really scored a good deal. Just looking at purely from the
Yeah,
figures.
purely from numbers. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So okay, so these are the three properties which I've given you some of the details, such as the transacted price and how much is it off the how much is it off the valuation price, right? So I'm going to
Okay, so before
go
that,
into
let's examine the answers by our viewers
Okay.
first. So Jeffrey again says goodbye. Okay.
Right.
Howard Ho says it's a fair price. Wow. Okay. Fair price.
Okay.
Daniel Tan, not too bad. Ken Chan says good. Ruth is saying not bad. Fair price is based solely on a PSF. Oh, Selena now says unsure. Okay.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
Colin Yee, what do
The
you
discount
have?
is not good for her. Maybe Selena wants more discount. Maybe it's 1,600, then it's very good, right? Yeah. So again, it's subjective. You see, that's why again, when we are doing property transaction, a lot is what matters is actually opinion. But of course, before opinion comes, what you form your opinion on, I think very importantly is it must be grounded on some solid reasoning, logical thinking, and verifiable facts. I think that's very important, right? What I don't like is giving speculative kind of answers or things which doesn't make sense, right? So I actually don't like these kind of things, right? So okay, so let's maybe look at these three properties in detail, right? And I will share with you my thinking for all three of them, right? So before I go into the three properties again, to review them, right? What I want to do here is to share with you my considerations when I saw all these different prices, which I've shown you, right, in the last three slides, right? Okay, so what are the considerations here, right? I have got three considerations when I look at all the numbers here. For example, transacted at 1.95 million versus the valuation of 2.05 million. So yeah, I mean is everything all the transactions are below so-called below 100k 150k below the so-called the valuation price, right? But I don't just look at these two prices, because if you just look at these two prices, it's no different from you go to the resale market today, or you go and buy a new launch, right? You just start to start bargaining with the seller, or start haggling over prices with the developer, right? Okay, you want to sell your property for $1 million, right? Oh, can I just buy at 950, right? Because your property has all these disadvantages, right? Can you just sell me at 950, right? So it becomes a kind of a price, like a fish market already, right? So who is right, who is wrong, right? So the thing is, what I would like to actually find out more is the psychology of the market, the psychology of the seller, right? Why are the sellers able to sell at this kind of price? That's the question. That's the question I ask myself, right? Because you must understand, without looking at these three examples first, right? Okay, you must understand. If today, let's say I'm the owner of the property, I own a property, right? I own a property. Today, let's say my property is worth $1 million, right? Valuation price $1 million. And let's say, Colin Goh, you are the buyer here. You're looking for some good deals, and you happen to know that I'm selling my property. So you come and look for me, right? You come and look for me, and you ask me, I know you are selling your property for 1 million, right? But your property has got this, these flaws, and can you sell to me at 900,000, right? So what do you think I would think, right? What do you think I would think? So if let's say you come to me and ask me, okay, my property is worth 1 million, you want me to sell to you at 900,000, right? So remember, just now the three deals which we saw, right? They are actual transaction. Actual transaction means it's not a property guru listing. Property guru, you can put there for, you want to sell at 10 million, or how much money you want to sell, right? You can quote any price you want. But if it's not sold, the listing will stay there forever, right? So the three transactions already took place, right, in the last few months. Meaning to say that there were actually buyers and sellers agreeing on this price to transact, right? Let's say for the Marina Bay, 1.95 million, right? Buyers agree to buy, sellers willing to sell at 1.95 million. So what is more interesting for me is actually I want to know why the buyers, okay, obviously we don't need to know why the buyers are buying, because obviously, undervalued properties buyers will buy, needless to say, correct or not? Right? Unless, they buy above value, then again, I want to question why the buyer want to buy above value, right? But in this case, because the sellers are selling below market value, that's why I'm more interested on the seller side, right? Seller side, to understand why the sellers are selling at this kind of price, right? Because once I can understand why the sellers are selling their property at this kind of price, maybe it will give me an insight to the dynamics of the market, right? Which is not going to tell you from just looking at the two prices alone, the caveated price, the caveated price and the guide price. It's not going to tell you anything, right? So, okay. So back to the example, right? So today, if let's say my property market value 1 million, and you come to me and say that can you sell me? Can I sell you? Can I sell you my property at only 900,000, right?
Yeah.
So my thinking will be, okay, 900,000. Okay, should I sell you at 900,000? Right. I can sell you at 900,000, not an issue. Provided I satisfy either of these two conditions. Either of these two. Number one, right. If I sell you at 900,000, means I must have bought the property at below 900,000. Correct or not?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I know if I bought the property at 600,000 only, I sell at 1 million, I make more money lah. Right? But can I sell at 900,000? I still can. I still make money. It depends on how greedy I am or how much I want. Correct? So condition number one, right? I can sell at 900,000, no problem. Provided I still make money by selling you at 900,000. Okay? Right? That's the most straightforward answer sellers will think. Have I made money in this property if I sell you at this price that you want? Okay? So if they have made money, right, then good. Then again, is how much profit they want. Of course, they want more, then they push up higher.
Sure.
Right. Now, the second condition is, right, how, if, let's say, I don't make money, I don't fulfill the first condition, right? That means to say I bought the property, let's say, at 1.2 million, right, 1.2 million. And now I'm willing to let go at $1 million. Okay? Now, what does it tell you? What does it tell you? Right. In this case, I lost money because I bought at a higher price, you see, right? But I'm willing to sell at, a cheaper price. What does it tell you? Right. It will tell you two things. Either I am really, I really need the money. I need to get rid of it just get rid of it for whatever reason, and I really need the money, right? So that becomes really a real, so-called a real distress sale, right? Or the other way to look at it is that, my property is so lousy, for example, so lousy that nobody in today's market is going to buy from me at 1.2 million, right? That can be a reason as well, right? Because when I bought the time at 1.2 million, maybe it was like 5-10 years ago when the market was good, so I bought at a higher price. But today the price has come down, so no choice I have to sell. It is not a distress sale, but no choice I still have to sell at today's price, which is lower already, right? So the thing is, that's why I say the first point here, entry price. My entry price, that means if imagine you are the buyers of these three properties, right? You bought Livia at 950,000. That is your entry price, right? Your entry price, just based on paper, is good because you get, $100,000 savings, right? But I want to consider on the seller side, this seller who is selling me, right? What is his situation? Is it really a distress sale? Has he lost money in the property? Or actually, he still make money? Right. So that is the question which I want to answer. Right. Because if the seller is willing to sell me at a lower price and he still make money and I got a good deal, then it's okay because I think both parties are happy, you see, right? I'm happy, I got a good deal, and he is happy he still make money, although he make a lesser profit, but maybe I'm doing him a favor by, letting him get his money quicker because, I really come and buy from him. Right. So that becomes a very good match, right? If the seller is not greedy and has made money. So my entry price, besides being my entry price as a buyer, right, it also actually tells you a bit about the seller's psychology, right? So that's the first point. Second point, the launch price. For these three projects, that's why, I have given you, for these three projects, I've given you the launch price. When was it launched? And what kind of price are we looking at, right? Now, why is it that I put launch price, for these three projects as a reference, right? Because I think we can generally say that over the last maybe 15 years or so, right, or 20 years, property prices in Singapore generally has gone up, right, except maybe um, a few years when actually the prices were a bit high and then now actually it's lower, right? So I look at launch price because launch price to me, right, is the price that all the buyers, all the first-hand buyers would have paid to bought that new launch condo, right? So let's say for Livia, 600 plus per square feet in 2010, right? So meaning that 2010 to 2011, those 1 or 2 years when Livia was launched, right? The buyers would have bought Livia at about 600 plus per square feet. Okay, right? So why do I need to low launch price? It's because I want to see today if I am entering into a resale property, right? Is my entry price very far away from the launch price, right? Because if it's very far away, means it is more risky for you, right? It's riskier for you. Why? Because there will still be first-hand buyers that bought since day one. They may still be holding on to the properties, and they bought at, let's say, $1,000 per square feet. And today you are entering at $2,000 per square feet. Okay? Meaning to say that in the years to come, right, be it 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, or even 20 years in the future, these buyers who bought cheaper than you, right, maybe during the launch, right, may still, sell at 1,007, 1,008, and they still make a lot of money, but you are dead because you bought today at $2,000, right? So if you remember the what I mentioned during the last 2 months ago about new launches, why new launches is a bit more attractive is because all the buyers go in at the same price during this time, right? There's no price differentiation. So launch price to me, the second point here is important because I want to see at this kind of entry price which these three buyers paid, right? How far off are they off the launch price? Because launch price usually we take it as the floor price, the support, right? If the transactor price today is lower than the launch price, I can tell you there are such properties. There are such properties. For example, Sky Habitat, right? Sky Habitat today is lower than the launch price, right? It is not the property got problem, right? It is not the property got problem. It is the problem with the property market, right? Why do I say property market? It's because a lot of properties or most buyers who bought a new launch during 2012 and 2013, I tell you today, maybe their launch price is still higher than the resale price, right? Sky Habitat is one example, right? I think a few other condos in the good district, they are all very good examples, right? Because those times, right, during those hot years, right, 2011, 2012, 2013, the prices went up so high, right? So if you bought a new launch back then, right, your prices were very, very high, you see, right? So compared to today, prices have moderated. So today, the resale price definitely will not be as high as the launch price, right? But doesn't mean that those properties are lousy, right? They may be freehold in very good location, but it's just that the market condition when it was launched, right, versus today has changed already. As a result, the price has fallen, right? So that's launch price. I also look at that, right? And the third thing about future price. Future price means today, if let's say I buy whatever condo at this kind of price, let's say Marina Bay at how much? 1,008 PSF or 1.95 million, right? In future, based on per square foot, can I sell at 2,002, 2,005, or how much do I think I can sell? Because I need to exit. You see, I cannot be like, today I buy at 1,008 PSF and then I just, I don't know what's the price going to be. If the price has to go down, then how? Right, I start to lose money, right? Not so at least I must have an indication of future price. What is the target price that I think I can exit the property, right? At least I have a target price, right? So having shared these three considerations, right? Now let's go back to the three examples to review them, right? Okay, let's go back to the three examples to review them. Starting from Livia, the first one, right? Livia, okay. Now, okay, Livia, you see, launched 2008, right, at about 600 plus PSF. So as I mentioned, the market started to pick up, right? 2011, 2013, the price went up all the way from 600 during the launch, all the way went up to 900, right, in 2013. And then today it came back down to $700 to $800 per square feet, okay? So for this unit here, 0226, right, you make a guess. Maybe you just make a guess because this is guess, right? This is guessing, right? this seller who sold this property at 950 per square feet, okay, do you think, right, this seller make money or has he lost money? Make a guess. Okay, you see, looking at the launch price, 600 plus PSF. Okay, today I buy, let's say I'm the buyer, I buy at 718 PSF. Okay, of course we can go and check all the records, right? And the thing is that this buyer actually made money, right? Make money. Actually, I wrote this somewhere, right? Okay, this buyer bought in 2008 during the launch, right? During the launch in 2008 at 630 per square feet. 630 per square feet. He bought during the new launch 12 years ago at 630 per square feet. So can he sell me today at 718 per square feet? Is he happy to sell me today at 718 per square feet? I mean, he's still happy because he makes some money, you see, right? Of course, he could have made that $100,000 more, right? I know. He could have sold me at 1.05 million, right? But as I said, you won't know, right, what the seller is thinking. Maybe they just want to quickly, sell the property, take the money for some urgent needs. We won't know, right? But at least the seller didn't lose money. He bought during the new launch, right, at 600 plus PSF, right? Today he sell me at 700 PSF, right? To me, it's still an attractive price, and he still make money, right? So that's the entry price for me, right? So entry price today, you see, I go in at 718 PSF, okay? 718 PSF. What is the new launch price? If I reference the new launch price, 600 plus PSF, 600 plus PSF, right? So my entry price today is nearly at the bottom of the so-called the price for Livia throughout these 12 years, right? Because the cheapest was 600 plus. Today I'm entering at 718, right? The highest it has gone to is about 900 plus, right? So do you think this is a good price to enter, 718, right? Based on paper, yes, this is not a bad price to enter, right? Okay, but what is the issue here? The issue here is that, again, if some of you have, stayed with me during the earlier, Facebook Live, right? I mentioned this when I compare new condos versus resale condos, right? Okay, is that today if I enter at 718, right, a resale property, okay, and some of the owners obviously bought cheaper than me during 12 years ago at 600 plus PSF, okay, right. So the thing is that I would not know going forward, right, this property, can it appreciate or not, right? Based on my entry price today, 718 PSF, right, reference to the launch price, $600 per square feet, actually is quite safe. To be honest, it's quite safe, right? But the danger here is that this property is already 12 years old. 12 years old, what kind of future price am I targeting to sell? Maybe, I don't know, maybe 800, 900, is it possible? Maybe it's possible, right? Maybe it may go back up to, those prices. But the question is, how long is it going to take to go back up to those prices, right? Because this is speaking from observation and a lot of research, right? A lot of resale properties today, once they pass, 10 to 15 years, in the last few years, their prices have started to, stay stagnant, right? They have not really seen any much appreciation, right? So the thing is that, yes, no doubt, I entered Livia at quite an attractive price, 718 PSF, right? But the bigger question for me, the bigger worry for me is that, how high can this price go? Can it go back up to 900? Right? If it goes to 900, then I would say it's not a bad deal. I mean, I make $200 from this, 200,000 from this property, you see, or actually more than 200,000 from this property. But the question here is, right, how long is it going to take me to reach there? Really, I can't tell. Because, over the years, people have bought at 600, 700, 800, all the way to 900, right? So obviously, today the price is about $700, $800. Those people who bought at 600, obviously are still happy to sell today, just like my seller here, right? To sell to me, they still make money, right? But those people who bought at maybe, I don't know, 800, 900, are they willing to sell today? They don't make money. So, of course, they can break even, right? There will still be transaction, but the question is, how much higher can it push up, right? And again, if you look at properties in Pasir Ris, there's this very strange phenomena, right? All the rest of the properties in Singapore have appreciated. Pasir Ris is one of those places where there's almost, very little, negligible appreciation in the last 10 years, right? Even the newest condo, Coco Palms, right? Coco Palms today want to sell at 1,000, 2,000, 3 PSF. I think it's also very challenging, right? Very challenging. Not to mention the older ones like Livia, Palette, Dines, and all these things, right? They're all trading how much, right? I think below 1,000 PSF. So if you compare, Pasir Ris with like the Sembawang Woodlands area, Sembawang Woodlands condo also suffer from this kind of same problem. There's no price appreciation for some strange reason, right? All the rest of properties in Singapore, right? Clementi lah, Bedok, Ang Mo Kio, everywhere else, right? Okay, except Pasir Ris, except maybe Sembawang, Yishun, Yishun maybe a bit like Sembawang and Woodlands, right? Except maybe Choa Chu Kang, right? Okay, these few places, honestly, I don't see much appreciation. The prices have stayed almost the same for the last 10 years. So it makes me wonder, if today I buy Levy at 718 PSF, yeah, I mean, no doubt it's a good entry price, right? Based on paper, is quite good, right? What is my exit price going to be? I don't know.
So Colin, I think
Yeah.
I get you already. So for
Right.
Livia, yes, although it is attractive at 718, I think if we didn't really look at the future price or study into it, then it remains a question mark.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
got it.
Correct.
Got your point.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay, so let's go to the next one.
Yes.
Let's go to the next one. Right. Now, Spottiswoode 18. Right. So again, you look at the price. Wow, 1,004 per square feet.
Yeah.
You buy this property at 1,004 per square feet, and the transactor price, the valuation price is about $2,000 per square feet. Right. Now, I want to point out to you that again, we look at the three considerations, right? Okay. Okay. What is the entry price? Entry price is 1,4 something PSF. So did the seller lose money here or make money? Did he buy below 1,4, 1,400 PSF? The fact is that he actually lost money. This seller lost money, right? He bought at I think about 1,008 PSF, right? And he sold to me today at this kind of price. So he lost money, right? So again, you must understand, seller lose money. If given the choice, if you are the seller, will you sell your property at a loss? You won't, right? Right. You're selling your property today at a loss, this property today at a loss, right? Obviously, there must be some extreme reasons. There must be some extreme conditions, right? Okay. So, what is the condition here, right? Is it because you need money urgently? You don't know, right? But I look at this property first. Now, let's look at this property, 3508. Now, 3508 is a high floor unit. And the problem with this property is a bit strange, right? 893 square feet. 893 square feet is still a one bedroom, Wow, the one bedroom must be huge. One bedroom. So I went to see what is so special about this one bedroom, right? And I realized this. I'm going to show you the floor plan, right? Now, this is a floor plan. It is a penthouse one bedroom. One bedroom unit on the top floor. And over here, the lower floor, you can see basically there's a big balcony, a living room, a bedroom, a toilet, and this is a kitchen. And this is a storeroom. So you come in from here, the kitchen, the storeroom, living room, bedroom, toilet, balcony. And then this round little thing goes up to the roof terrace where you have a big open space and even your own private pool. So all this goes into the 893 square feet. So essentially, it's just a one bedroom unit with a huge, roof terrace and a swimming pool, which you can't live on the second floor, right? So this kind of size, look at this kind of size, 893 square feet, actually can be a two bedroom already, a normal condo two bedroom, or even today's market is three bedroom already, right? But they sell you like this is only a one bedroom, right? Because the rooftop is all, wasted space. It's just a big open air, sky terrace. So going back to look at the numbers here, okay? I'm not surprised that, the PSF is so low, because if you have noticed properties that are on the ground floor, for any condos, properties that are on the ground floor, or properties that have a high ceiling, duplex, double volume, especially the penthouse, right? A lot of air space, right? Usually the PSF is very low. Because why? Because your area is very big. Your big PES is very big. Your patio is very big. Your airspace is very big. Your roof terrace is very big. But your real usable space actually is very small. And your big area actually helps to drive down the PSF. So if I look at the PSF, 1433, obviously, if I compare with a normal unit at $2,000 per square feet, it is a huge discount. But this property has got a problem, because the problem is that, honestly, I don't think it's attractive at all. Honestly, even though, you buy if you are the buyer here at 1,400 PSF, you buy this property, it may seem like a good deal, but I can tell you, you want to rent out as a one bedroom at 1.28 million, I think it's very expensive. For this kind of size, 893 square feet, actually you can buy a two bedroom unit already. Maybe you pay a bit more, but your rental is so much higher, right? And next time, if you want to sell, honestly, your buyer will again think of this, wasted space that I'm paying so much. And of course, they will drive down your PSF, right? But of course, today I will still admit that you actually got quite a good deal at even 1400, even a lousy unit at 1400, PSF. Is not a bad deal, to be honest. It's not a bad deal based on numbers, right? Okay. The thing is that, but the problem here is that the problem itself, the unit itself has got a problem here, right? So if you look at the entry price, right, again 1400 is not a fair comparison because there's a lot of wasted space, right? Compared to the launch price at 1800 to 2300, I think a fairer PSF would be more probably near to 1800 for this kind of properties, right? So you're entering probably about the launch price, which is not far off from today's price actually, right? And again, if you compare with the resale properties around the Spottiswoode area, actually $2,000 is about the kind of resale price today, right? And it has, stayed stagnant for the last, I think, 5 to 8 years already. The price hasn't really gone up. So it'll be interesting to see because over there are a few upcoming new launches like Avenue South, One Pearl Bank, Sky Everton, right? So all these are selling a little bit higher than $2,000 per square feet. So it'll be interesting to see in the next 3 to 4 years whether those new projects help to bring up the appreciation in these resale properties here. If the prices of Spottiswoode condos still remain this kind of price, then I can say generally it becomes very challenging for them to appreciate. They will only appreciate if the whole overall Singapore property market condition improve. Then everything else will appreciate together, right? So this is the problem for Spottiswoode property, right? This property in particular, penthouse unit, a lot of wasted space, right? Okay, go to the third one, right? Go to the third one, Well, it's almost 15 minutes now, so I'm keeping track of my time. I don't want to end too late, right? Because I think you guys also need to rest early, right? So okay, MB Residences, Marina Bay Residences, right? 2006 launched at about 1,005 to 2,000 per square foot, right? Okay. Of course, the prices went up a lot because of speculative, activities. Prices went up to almost $3,000, right? So this unit 1503, right? 1503, right? Okay, the price actually, this owner who bought this unit is the third buyer, right? The third buyer. So the first buyer bought this property, right, at 1,500 in 2006. The first buyer bought this property, right, in 2006 at 1,500, right? Then he sold it off in 2008 at about 2,001 per square feet, right? 2,001 per square foot. He sold off 2 years later, 2008, right, at $2,100 per square foot. And then this second buyer who bought 2008 hold it until all the way now, and he sold, right? So obviously he lost some money because he bought in 2008 at 2,001 per square feet, and today he's selling to me at 1,800 per square feet. So he lost some money, right? So okay, the buyer lost money, right? Why he want to sell? Of course, there are a lot of reasons, right? Maybe he need the money, or he just want to cut loss and move on, right? That could be, it's okay. We don't know the reasons, right? So is there anything wrong with this property? Not really. I mean, this is not like a penthouse unit, or this is not like a wasted space with lots of wasted space, right? Okay. The only thing I could think of for this stack 3 is that it is not facing the Bay Area, right? Because Marina Bay Residences, they are like two facing, right? One is facing the reclaimed land, the other one is facing the Marina Bay. So obviously, Marina Bay will worth much more than those facing the construction and the reclaimed land. So this one, unfortunately, is actually facing the reclaimed land. So maybe the value is not as high as well. That's the only problem I can think of for this property, right? So if you look at this in totality, today your entry price is 1,800 per square feet, right? Based on today's transaction, 19 to 2,200, right? Of course, it is a bit cheaper, right? It's a bit cheaper. If I compare it with those properties those buyers who bought during the launch at 1,500 to 2,000, right? I'm within that range, right? So the thing is that I would say generally for this property, it's also not really a very bad purchase. I think it's quite reasonable if buying at this kind of price, right? But again, I think the the challenge here is that, today you can buy 1,800 per square feet, but what kind of exit price are you looking at, and how many years are you going to reach there? Because as I said, again, this is a 99-year property, and it has been around, I think, coming to 20 years already. So again, price stagnation has already set in. That's why you see, 2010, when it was at a high, the speculator price went up to 2,005 to 3,000. And today is about 1,900 to 2,200. And I believe the last few years, it was trading at this kind of range as well, 1,900 to 2,200. So the question here is whether, when is it possible to see a breakthrough beyond, moving out from the 1,900 to 2,200 range, right? So, but of course, if you buy this property and you're just aiming for maybe $100, $200 per square foot, that's kind of appreciation, then it's possible. I think it's possible, right? Maybe you don't need to wait so long, but of course, if you want to make more money, then obviously you need to wait longer, right? So, in summary, I think if we come back to that newspaper report, this newspaper report here, right, okay, obviously, based on paper, I think some of the numbers do look very attractive, right, in the resale market. But I think a lot more information actually is hidden beneath the numbers that we need to scrutinize a bit more carefully, right? Especially, for example, the Spottiswoode 18 is actually a one-bedroom penthouse. And although it's cheap, but I think given the choice, I also wouldn't buy it because properties are cheap because of a reason. Okay, right. So let's be very clear about this. If you want to pay peanuts, I always tell my students, or sometimes even my clients this analogy. If you want to pay peanuts, right, don't expect to get someone who can do the job for you, right? If you want to pay peanuts, don't expect to buy a good property, right? But on the other hand, if you take out a piece of Wagyu beef, right, maybe you can attract a tiger, right? Okay, or you can get someone to do a good job for you, right? Pay peanuts, you get monkeys lah, right? This analogy lah. But if you take out a piece of beef, you may be able to attract a tiger, right? So that's the kind of analogy. So certain things, in the market actually is fair. It's fair. Properties are cheap. Properties are on fire sale because of some reason. Either the seller has got a problem or the property has got a problem, right? Usually it's not the property market that has a problem, right? It's either the seller got a problem or the property itself got a problem. So you just have to find out actually which is the problem. Is it the seller got a problem, want a distress sale, even selling at a loss, or the property itself lah, got some issues with the property. Maybe the facing no good lah, wasted space lah, or maybe the price that it was purchased last time was really at a high price. That's why the seller want to just cut loss and move on now, which is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong. Yeah. Okay.
So really good for you to be analyzing into so many deeper levels on why the caveated price for those three are a lot lower than what they are supposed to be. I think if you have the time, if you go into all the other examples down here in your newspaper report, right, we'll be able to spot some signs also like why are they transacting at this kind of price. And I guess really, Colin, if you are purely looking at it from a numbers point of view, we've proven that it might not be the best way to just invest in a property, and that's why we call this Facebook Live the property market analysis. We need to analyze, and the analysis is not only on facts and figures presented to you on newspaper clippings, not even caveated price that are readily available through URA, SRX, whatever. The analysis goes into the psychology of the seller as well. And I think that is something that you are very good in studying, really understanding all these factors in totality to come out with a good, for lack of a better word, analysis of essentially what is good about that property. Yeah. And so I've been listening to you for the past 1 hour or so. Do you have any more slides to share, Colin?
No, this is actually
okay.
I've shown all my slides, right?
Okay.
But Colin, though, I want to just emphasize something which you mentioned just now, which is very true, right? Okay.
Would you like to stop share first? I mean, your slides.
I stop share first. I'll stop share first. Right? Okay. Yeah. Just now you mentioned something which is actually very I couldn't agree more, because you see, the numbers that you see, like the transacted price and the valuation and all those things, at the end of the day are just numbers, right? They are numbers to guide you in your decision, in terms of the offer price, selling price, or whatever price you want to pay, right? So they are just numbers. But actually behind the numbers, you must understand who decides the numbers, right? It's between the sellers and the buyers. And to a very large extent, of course, they are also influenced by whatever is happening in the property market, the conditions, right? So I always feel that, you cannot just look at just the numbers alone, right? But you must understand the property market, right? The conditions that we are operating in today, right? That and how it affects the sellers and the buyers in terms of their psychology, right? Sellers and buyers, okay, in the resale market, right? In the new launch market, it will be between developers and the homeowners and the investors, right? So the thing is, if we can understand better, right, how these different parties are thinking, I think it will actually we can find out a lot of insight about how potentially the market may go in the future, right? And uncover some things which becomes a new insight learning point for us to take note. And in future, if we come across the same point, we may think back and say that, okay, I've encountered this kind of situation before. Maybe I can reference that. And it becomes more of a solid, more tangible kind of foundation to base on judgment on, rather than just speculative saying that, I think this one bedroom next time can go for, $4,000 per square feet, or something along those lines, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so that is something which, to be honest, I like to do a lot, besides just looking at the numbers, because let's say new launch market, right? A lot of people are asking whether developers are going to cut price or not, right? Will developers cut price? You must understand their psychology, right? What are they thinking? Will they cut price depends a lot on what is going through their mind. In the resale market, will there
Hey,
be
can you
fire
lower the
sale?
volume?
Again, whether sellers want to fire sale their properties or not, a lot depends on what is going through their mind as well, and what is the kind of property market conditions we are operating in, right? So it's never in silo in isolation that we look at things. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So and one thing I like about today's episode is this. I think over the past, I hosted 5 episodes together with you, and then you went on your own to do 2 more episodes. So today is
Yeah.
episode
Yes.
8 already.
Yes.
And I think throughout these 7 episodes in the past, we have more been touching on new launches.
Mhm.
So today we are talking purely on resale market, which is refreshing because today, let's face it, Colin, we go out there, we go to a property agent. The very first thing that they will introduce you to buy is probably a new launch. Why? We all know, the commission is more attractive. So I think there's nothing wrong. And I know you know that there's nothing wrong with this as well. Yeah.
Right.
But beyond that, there are also good resale properties to look into. Now, everybody's needs are different. Not everybody who wants to buy a property is an investor. Some really want to buy for own stay. For example, you
Yes.
mentioned about Pasir Ris, haven't been really seeing a huge jump, but some people has been staying in the Pasir Ris area for all their lives, and maybe their children are going into primary school down there. So they
Right.
cannot move anywhere else. They must go and buy somewhere in Pasir Ris.
Yes.
So if you ask me, if let's say that family bought that Livia unit, I think is in Hokkien we call kyo deal. It's a really
Yes.
good buy,
Yes.
really
Yes.
good
Yes.
buy. Considering
Yes.
the new launches around that area, some of them, I mean, the Loyang area is fetching about 1,004 PSF right now, asking
Yes.
1,004. So this is
Yes.
half the price, although it's a little bit old, but for stay, I think it still makes sense.
Yeah.
Spottiswoode, yes, I agree with you, penthouse, wasted space up there, but there are some bachelors who love that kind of space one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to them, the person who bought it will think that, hey, this is one of the best deals ever. When can I ever get a property?
Rooftop. Yeah. Rooftop
Exactly.
swimming pool.
And I go to the rooftop
Fantastic
every day.
view.
I can
Yeah.
see the fireworks during National Day.
Yeah.
I can see so much down there. So I think every single unit, yes, we can find all the bad points about it. But I think if we go into the analysis point of view, there are some good points to look into, and that's why I think I like doing this show with you. You go into the analysis and you're able to point out all these things, and you are we always say that you are impartial, you are objective, and I agree, and I think your students and your past clients all agree with that as well. So today, I now understand a little bit more as per what our viewers are seeing right now is that Colin E doesn't only do new launch. Don't be mistaken. Yes, for the past 7 episodes, we have been talking about new launches, but Colin E is pretty good in doing resales also. So if you have a need to look into only resale, then you can even go to Colin E to get you some analysis. You'll be able to do analysis like what you did, right, Colin?
Yeah. Of course, of
Yeah.
course. In fact, some of my students, as you have rightly said, if we look at new and resale, I would say new is better for investment, on the investment, angle, right? Because I think in terms of the appreciation and there's no such problem as the depreciating lease and all those kind of things, right? But we must also understand that property is not just an instrument for us to squeeze as much money as we can from that asset, right? Okay. At the end of the day, it is still a roof over our head, right? So if it's a roof over our head, whether is it a HDB or condo or landed property, as long as you are happy with the house you're staying in, it meets your requirements, it meets your family's requirements, I think it's okay, right? You may not need to analyze it so much in terms of, you must squeeze this, squeeze that out from it, right? You may be happy, like what you said, the bachelor who bought the Spottiswoode penthouse unit, right? It may be fantastic for him because, he has 2 levels, downstairs is for him to live, and then upstairs is for his barbecue, entertain friends, and fantastic view, and even swimming pool. So who are we wrong to say that, he got a bad deal, or he got a bad deal, right? Because from an investment perspective, may not be so ideal, but it is a fantastic property for his kind of lifestyle. So at the end, I think we always have to go back to look at what we want, right? What we want, is it for investment, for own stay, right? That is why, some of you may be aware that my company is called PSF, Real Estate Academy. PSF simply because when I think of, a company name back 7 years ago to call my company name, I didn't think of all those kind of fanciful names, right? So PSF is synonymous with per square foot. So it's very easy to remember. So PSF, Real Estate Academy, simple, right? Okay. But over the years, right, I started to realize PSF also actually stands for something else, right? Which I feel is very apt in my situation is to call it personalized solutions first, right?
Wow.
PSF,
Okay.
personalized solutions first, right? It's not about always, you must buy new launch, you must buy resale, you must buy this, buy that, you must always sell your HDB, buy 2 condo, you must buy 10 industrial properties because, you won't get hit with ABSD, blah, 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 this kind of thing, right? All the strategies, techniques out there, actually, they are pretty much the same, right? At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, right, okay, different properties can bring you to different places. How do you want to do the asset allocation, the structuring, and what is it that you want at the end of the day, right? For example, if let's say today I got $10 million, right? I buy a HDB, I put my $10 million in the bank. I'm happy, right? I stay in HDB, I'm happy, I leave all my money in the bank. Versus if I use my $10 million to buy a bungalow, I stay in a house $10 million, I got no money in the bank. Why are you to say that is wrong, right? Because I like to stay in a landed house, I like to stay in a house with 6 bedrooms. It's my money, right? But of course, from an investor point of view, they say that I buy HDB is stupid because HDB has no appreciation. Then the other one may say, oh, if you buy a landed property for 10 million, it's also quite dumb, right? Why you need a big house, right? So we don't need to, as long as it satisfies, your own, requirements, I think it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, whoever is watching this, if you know of someone who has a need, we are talking about need here down here. Okay, so a need for a place, and that place doesn't need to be for investment, and it can be for own stay. It can be, for all we know, there might be a real distress situation that they need to sell off their place and downgrade, or for retirement. Why do I need, like you say, why do I need a $10 million bungalow? Why do I even need a $1.4 million property? If I can buy a $700,000 property in Pasir Ris, in Libya, to stay down there for the rest of my 30 years of life, I'm happy. Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, we must identify that need first. And based on that need, right, Colin, I think you'll be happy to help them analyze what are the best solutions out there. If my
Yeah,
if my
sure.
budget is
Yeah.
$800,000, I'm quite sure you won't say, hey, sorry, 800,000, I can't help you lah. You can't buy any new launch right now, so sorry, please go away. Then you will be able to help them in 800,000 today. I think objectively you got to look at the places like Choa Chu Kang, for example. If let's say no location, Choa Chu Kang lah, Sembawang, like you mentioned, all those places. Then within down there, then that's where the analysis comes. Because it doesn't mean that that area, everything you pick will be good. Then you need to go into the project level lah. Then within the project itself, if there are 3-4 units selling at the same time, especially those newer condos after 5 years, people starting to sell them already. Then you got a few choices around there. Then you can also help them by saying, hey, this unit actually is better than this, although it is maybe 20 PSF, more expensive, because facing is better lah, is away from the rubbish dump lah, so on and so forth.
Right.
These are the things that I think if you need someone to help you objectively, impartially, and in a very neutral way, right, and at the same time has a property agent license, I think Colin, best bet already lah. I can't think of anyone else who are as qualified in both sense in analysis as well as in being able to legally transact properties for your clients.
Oh, thanks very much, Colingo. You actually brought me up to the sky already, right? But,
I mean, that's rightly so lah. Yeah.
I really hope to help as many people as possible, right? So I mean, this sharing is just one of the platform which I can share some good information, good insight lah, with the audience here, right? So I think we are past 10:30 already, right? So I think we should be ending soon, right? So thanks everyone for joining us. So the next Facebook Live probably will be next week. I'll announce again, and I'll think of the topic and go through with you guys, right?
Okay. So thank you, thanks Daniel. Daniel says thanks to us. Shichin, is it Shichin? I hope I pronounced your name
Suchin, yes,
correct.
Suchin, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thanks Lynn, Suchin, Daniel, Alex. Thanks very much for joining in. And who else have we got? Jeffrey, Mr. Yong, Selina, Raja. Thanks very much, you guys. Simon Cheng as well, right? My US friend.
Well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks very much. Yeah. If not, have a good night, have a good weekend. And this weekend is a long weekend because we are having National Day, and hopefully, you get your good rest from your work, right? And stay safe, everyone. We are still in the COVID situation, and hopefully this COVID situation will improve, right? And hopefully the property market will roar back to life again. It's already lively, actually. Right. Okay, thanks.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye.